All right. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday. It's officially summer, I think, for everyone. So thanks for hopping on this call tonight. I am super excited to introduce our speakers tonight, Jen and Adam Feichter. They are just have become such good friends through this opportunity, and they are incredible leaders and have such huge hearts. I'm excited for them to, I'm sure, share some of their story with you guys, but they just hit a huge milestone in their business. They're already Crystal executives, I think like 3 times over now, right? And just hit 3-star Golden Circle. So they are the newest members on our team for 6-figure earners. So congratulations, guys. I think you guys might be muted. I don't know. You are? Okay. So I'm just going to hand the call over to you guys.
Awesome. So just obviously for the sake of time, thank you, Kisa, for the introduction. I want to call out our first person, and her name is Rachel. She has had an amazing, amazing transformation so far and is in love with these products, lost 65 pounds, over 30 inches in a few short months. So Rachel, if you could just come out and share your 30-second testimonial, it'd be awesome.
Okay, can you guys hear me? No.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm still new at this, guys. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Good job.
Okay. Yeah, no, I started in March, and the weight started coming off pretty quickly. I just followed the program exactly as is, and I had a couple of moments of, putting stuff in my mouth I shouldn't have, but I did my cleanse days pretty faithfully, and I feel great. I'm just really tired now, but I feel great. It's a little late for me, but yeah, no, I have a lot of energy, and no. What else do you want me to say, Adam?
No, I think it's awesome. So yeah, so Rachel was introduced to the products by her cousin, who was introduced by us through a friend of mine. So she's down in Florida, so it's pretty awesome to see her story, and she's got a little team who's also enjoying the product. So if you could just mute your line and let me have Laura Hanrahan come out and give our product spotlight.
Sure, thanks. So the product spotlight is the Rejuvenate Moisturizing Day Cream. So I absolutely love this cream. It is part of my daily routine. It feels like, oh, there goes my phone. I can almost feel my skin literally. It's truly amazing. It has SPF 15, which protects our skin from the sun, and it definitely deserves that. It also has this renewal hydrase complex, which works to maintain cellular hydration and gives us a healthful glow. As Jim Coover always says, we have the best looking people around, so part of that is do this. And who doesn't want to look fantastic? So this little baby not only moisturizes and hydrates the skin, it helps to reduce the look of wrinkles and even evens out our skin tone. So on top of that, it's paraben free. So I love, love, love it. It's $39 wholesale, $52 retail, and worth every single penny. So add it to your auto ship and help your people know that it's available. Is that it?
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. And then Kisa, or Lauren Sims, whoever you are tonight, if you could pop out and just give your business testimony.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I meant to say that. Obviously, I'm not Lauren. It is her birthday today, so she's out having a good, yummy, I'm assuming, celebration dinner. So I had to jump on here so I could record it. So that's why it says Lauren. But so yeah, so I was introduced to Isagenix just over 3 years ago by Lauren Sims, and I originally just started for the products. Within a few days, just had a great product experience, felt like someone flipped on a light switch, and I started sharing it with people, my friends, my family. I kind of couldn't shut up about it. And before I started Isagenix, I was working a full-time job. I'm a single mom, and I hadn't gone to college, so I had really put kind of a financial ceiling above me as to what was possible and what I was capable of. So when I saw the opportunity that Isogenics has, the business opportunity, I kind of just jumped in with both feet. I went to my first event. Events are huge. I went to my first event about a month after getting started, and was able to really sense and feel the culture of Isogenics and learn more about the product and the company. And I just knew I had just such a good gut feeling that I was in the right place at the right time. So I spent basically every free moment that I had, which wasn't a whole lot back then, learning and growing this business and the pockets of my time. And with a lot of hard work, I was able to go down to part-time at my job after a couple of months, and then eventually full-time. And so now, I get to, having summers like with my daughter, the days that she's not out doing things. I mean, that was something that I had craved, that time freedom before, not to have to ask for time off or not to be missing some precious time, especially these last several years with her, because 4 more years and she's out of the house. So I'm just so grateful for everything that Isogenics has blessed my life with and the lives of my family members and friends. And I've met such amazing people on this journey too. So, can't say enough good things. And getting on these calls is definitely the beginning steps and the continual steps that you need to take in order to grow your business. I didn't, really ever miss a team call, and we've been having them since I started. So I really encourage you guys to get on every single one. And Jen and Adam are going to do an awesome job with how to get your your cleansers started, right?
Yes, thank you so much. So when we were going through topics with Lauren about what we're going to talk about every week, we just kind of decided to go back to the basics. So we all know, how to start off somewhere, to add them to this group or that group, but it's really great, to get the reminders, and you might get tidbits from someone that you didn't hear from someone else, or it's another way of doing something. There's no right or wrong way. We're just going to share with you what we do, and which has been working, and feel, free to steal what you want and tweak things as you want. And, if you have something that's working for you, keep going with it, because, what works for one person may not work for another, and it really has to be authentic to you. So everything starts with just the basics of getting your people started on the road to success with your first call, right? So you're enrolling them, and even when you're enrolling them, you're thinking about how to launch them successfully. So let's say they're a coffee drinker, right? If you don't bring up that they're not allowed to have coffee on cleanse days and that we sell coffee, and then, they start their journey, and then 3-4 days later, they want coffee on their first cleanse day, and they're like, well, I have to have it. You never told me there was coffee. Right then, they're already going to be, maybe not as happy as they would have been if you would have maybe offered it before. So even the product selection, just not letting them cleanse without Iso Delights, little things like that. Their coffee drinker getting that. If they're having problems sleep, offer the sleep spray. So everything right there, setting them up for success, starts on that call. So it's even when you're enrolling them. So you're going through the product selection, and then your accountability partners. So when you get to the bottom of the enrollment form that we've kind of updated recently, you probably cannot see it, but at the bottom down here, there's it says who are your 2 accountability partners. That's where you're going to get into, setting them up for success, because we know everybody's going to be more successful. What is it, 67% more successful with accountability partners. So that's huge. So we're not going to get into that and referrals and all that. That's a whole nother topic, but I just really wanted to show you that it really does start from the beginning. So right there, I would say after that, you're going to put them at ease and tell them what's next. So the first thing you're going to be wondering is, okay, now what? So you're going to tell them, okay, here's what to expect. I'm going to, hang up the phone, and I'm going to put your order in and set up your wholesale account online. So I'm already letting them know it's a wholesale account. And then your box should be there by whatever date. So estimate, if it's a Monday, depending on where you live, it might be a Wednesday, it might be a Thursday. If you put it in on a Thursday or Friday and you live a little further away, it might not be till Monday. So you'll get in the habit of trying to figure out where it's going to be. And you can always log in their account and kind of track their order under their orders if they haven't changed their password, to try to help them. But that's really what you want to do, is try to put them at ease, let them know when they're going to get their box, and then go on to the next step. The next step I always say is that you're going to get a few emails. The first one you're going to get is from the company, And that's just going to be a welcome from the company, and it's going to be about your auto ship. So I'm going to sign you up for auto ship, and this is kind of where I talk about auto ship. I'm going to sign you up for auto ship to get you the best pricing possible. So you're going to pay lower fee, you know, lower pack rate, but you're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to talk about that later on. So I just automatically let them know. I've never had anyone give a problem, maybe one person. And then that person, I was like, all right, we'll just put in a $1 Make-A-Wish that you can take off when we get off the call, because it's going to save you a lot of money if I set you up with it. But I always kind of put their mind at ease that nothing's going to go out. We'll talk about it towards the end of the month and not to worry about it yet. So then I'll tell them that they're going to get a welcome email from me, and it's going to have their username and passcode in it, along with some other really important things. So in the welcome email, on the attachments, we have a one-page cheat sheet that I made up a while ago, just kind of telling people like step 1, step 2, step 3. So when they get their box, they're not so overwhelmed and they don't feel like they can start right away. I was extremely overwhelmed, and I only got a shake and cleanse pack to split with Adam, and I was too overwhelmed. Like, it's ridiculous. There's like 2 products in there. But so I just made sure that people are not feeling overwhelmed and they have something to follow and a system to follow, so that when they get other people started, they know what to follow as well. So it's like that one-page cheat sheet is huge. So I say, make sure to see that you have attachments on there. That's really important. And then I go through some of the things that are on the new member interview. So I think it's been called before the new associate interview, new member interview. I think they changed the name recently. But that's really important because I'm already pulling in pieces of the new associate or new member interview or checklist into my initial call, so that I'm not calling them back like 5,000 times and asking them more things. So I'm automatically going to go over the IsaBody Challenge, right? What that is, the Healthy Mind and Body, and tell them where they can access that in their account. So I'm just going over these little things at the end of the call to make sure that they know what to do when they get their box. So they know when they get their box, they're going to take the cheat sheet and they're going to match up their products and shoot me a text when they get that. So they're not going to know all this stuff. They're not going to remember every single thing I'm saying. And that's where, in a little bit, I'm going to get to what I do after the call, because it's kind of overwhelming, all the information we're throwing at them, but at least it's a one time they heard it through. I always tell them automatically, don't go radio silent on me. That's like the last thing I always say to them. I said, you may hit bumps in your journey, and I want to know about them. If you have any like digestive issues, if you have a headache, I want to know about it, because there's maybe something that I can do to help you. So a lot of times, especially in the beginning, I found that people didn't want to let me down. And I think that they just didn't want to say anything or didn't want to sound like complainers. And again, sometimes you get people who complain all the time, and sometimes you get people who go radio silent. I'm like, don't go radio silent on me. I will stalk you. I'll come by your house. I just need to know how your journey is going, because we can tweak things, because it's not a one-size-fits-all program at all. So that usually is the one thing I can always come back and say. If they went radio silent on me, I can text them, hey, radio silent, and then usually they'll respond because they remember that I did say that. So that once the call is done, I hang up and I'm going to send them the welcome email. So automatically send a welcome email after, obviously, I enroll them with all their log name, username, and info and everything. And then I'm going to shoot them a text message. So this text message I already have in my notes on my iPhone. And it just says, like, when someone's already enrolled, I send them this text message and I shoot it off to them. So it has a picture of the one-page cheat sheet that's attached to the email in it. And I have that screenshot. It sends that. And then it says, hey, you're all enrolled. I just sent you your email. I can't wait for you to get started. And then it says about the IsaBody Challenge. So I put it there. I'm actually like reading it right now. It just says, when you get your box, make sure to match up the products to the cheat sheet and shoot me a text so we can go over everything. Don't worry about cleanse days, because you're not going to be cleansing for a while anyway. So I automatically let them know they have to start with shake days. And then I put in there about the IsaBody Challenge. Make sure to go in and sign up tonight for the IsaBody Challenge. And remember, we've already talked about that. They know that it's a $200, at the worst case scenario, $200 free products. They know at the best case scenario, they're going to win $25,000. And then, of course, just to like break the ice, I always put in there about they don't have to be in a thong bikini if they don't want to be. They can take it in clothes. Like, so many people worry about the pictures, and I feel like that's why I didn't do it at first either. So if you call it out immediately, like, you can wear a thong bikini if you choose to, or you can be in clothes, like, they know. And I'll send the name of the app just the time free timestamp app. I put in there in a little text message, like that's what they can download to use for their pictures. So they don't have to get a newspaper, because let's face it, most people don't have newspapers nowadays. And then at the end of it, I just say, trust me, it's going to help you with your success. And then lots of, hearts and everything. I love when Adam accidentally sends out mine. It's like kissy faces and stuff. He's like, are you kidding? Like he didn't edit his or something yet. So yeah, like you have to make it whatever you want it to be. I know Lauren and I were talking about sometimes doing a call, which we need to do on, on these little things, the ways that we save time. And like when people are going to start their cleanse day, we ship off the same text message, So just try to use your phone for all your notes. And like, if it's a question you answer all the time, people always ask me, what's the whole juice again? I know you tagged me, but what's the whole juice again? That's like, I go into my notes and I send that one off. So really utilize your phone to help you. And then what would you do after that, you think?
So I think just to highlight a couple things that Jen said, because she speaks like the micro machine man, I can slow things down a little bit. One of the most important things is we have to crawl before we walk. So I've noticed myself, especially in the beginning, having a conversation with people on the phone, and I feel like I'm saying too much. And if I'm saying too much, they're hearing just blah, blah, blah. Like they're not processing. So it's so important to keep that first phone call so simple and just say, I'm going to send you an email that's going to explain everything. And then they're put at ease. Like, okay, that's going to be easy. So we have to give them baby steps first, so as not to overwhelm them. And then to also touch on the IsaBody pictures, I've had some people that just refuse to sign up, but I say, hey, do me a favor, because this helps me. Take your pictures with the timestamp app and just save them to your phone. If you're not going to sign up, just save them to your phone, because you're going to be so glad that you did that and had them for later. And who knows, maybe they will sign up, but at least they have those pictures, because they're so powerful when they have that transformation. I don't want anyone to ever come back later and say, oh, I wish I had that. Why didn't you emphasize it more? But yes, after we send the welcome email, on the back of the enrollment form, we have a bunch of checklists, and the first one on there is add them to the Facebook group. So to add them to the Dreamers, Cleansers, and Coaches group, if they are at all interested in getting their products paid for, automatically add them to the Dreamers in Action group, which is the group that's designated for the business side of this, or making money for referrals. Then we have the welcome video. So the idea is you have somebody's goals in one hand. You probably know somebody else on the team that has a similar journey or story, or maybe similar and can relate to this person. Reach out to that person and ask if they can send like a 30-second video just on, hey, welcome to the team. Here's what I like about the program. So excited for you, and then they have a person that they can connect with that kind of has a similar story. Give the person that you asked to do the welcome video just a little heads up on what their goals are and what they want out of the program. And then we are kind of old school, but we have like the calendar, like the old school calendar that has a full month on there. And honestly, this is all about mastering the mundane. So, I anticipate when somebody's going to get their box. So we put their name next to it on the date. Then we put day 1 next to it. And then we go out to day 5. Now, these are the bare minimum that you're going to contact these people in the first month is, when they got their box, to go over starting day 1, day 5, day 14, a couple days before auto ship. I put those specific dates in the calendar, and with auto ship, I back it up like 3 days before it goes out, because I don't want anyone's auto ship to go out without them knowing or being informed 3 or 4 times. And that's a good time to get on the phone with them so they know how to log in. If they haven't done this already, log in, where's auto ship, how to change it. Now they're empowered by that, they can change it. But I think the first week to 2 weeks is so important to be in touch with people, if not every day, multiple times a day, because if you set them off the right way for success and they have an incredible experience and they're in the groups and they're engaged, there's a great chance that they're going to stay with you, because that's what we want. We don't want people to come in for 30 days thinking that this is just a 30-day program and then they're out, because that's not residual income. They're going to have an amazing experience and they're going to be with you for years, but all it takes is that hardcore staying with them in the first couple weeks, and then they're locked in because, number one, they love the culture and they're feeling amazing. And then once they start feeling amazing, that's when you hit them with, well, who else do you know that would want to feel this amazing in that short amount of time? And get those names. And, now you're creating consultants with purpose. Right, so their box arrives. And again, I've had those 30-minute conversations where, I'm actually unpacking their box with them on the phone, and it's just taking forever. And I'm like, this is not duplicatable. So the texting has to go back and forth where, hey, did you take everything out? Okay, do you have everything? Did you match it up to the cheat sheet? Oh, no, I didn't do that yet. Okay, when you do it, text me back and let me know, and then we'll get in touch. Because otherwise we're wasting everyone's time, and they're not going to be able to duplicate that with somebody else. So, okay, I can say, did you unpack the box? Did you match it up to the cheat sheet? Okay, do you understand it? Are you ready to start tomorrow? Do you have everything you feel like you're ready to start tomorrow? Yes. Okay, I'm ready to start. Perfect. All right. And then that new member interview, if you look at page 4, 5, and 6, that's all about the wealth creation side of it. So for us, we do a lot of that stuff, really not knowing that we did it, but we look through it a lot, and we do it when somebody is really interested in, and if you just Google search, new member interview Isogenics, that will pop right up, and it's like a 6-page worksheet. But those last couple of pages are for people that want the business, and it really gets down to their why and what they're looking for and how much they would like to make. So that's the conversation you have with somebody who really expresses interest in doing that.
Definitely. Yeah, and the first 3 pages, like when you look at it, you're like, this is crazy. Like, who would ever print out this for every single person? And I remember saying that. And then I remember hearing Lauren say, like, you don't need to do it all. And I was like, well, what do you do? And then I was looking through it. I was like, oh, we already do that. We already do that. Like, you're already doing, like, some of the stuff says it needs to be completed within 48 hours. Like, I'm pretty sure on your first call, you're already talking about their goals. Like, you already know what they need. So, like, that's a whole section that you're already doing that on your regular enrollment form, like in the notes section. You're already talking about referrals. And if someone does refer someone, you're sending the, they share video to them. Like, there's things that you're already doing that you can look through this and be like, I don't need to print that out. I already know what I'm doing. So especially pages 4, 5, 6. So that's like more business building, and you want to sit down with someone and legit interview them. But everything else you can really incorporate into your first call and maybe your follow-up call. I know we've had a lot of people like, no, I don't have 15 minutes to pop on the phone with you to talk about my health goals again, so that's where it's like we started like just putting it in our regular conversations with them and not making it one more thing they had to do or one more thing they had to hop on. So that's what I would say. Just trying to keep it simple. Like Adam said, when we're going over the original call, like at the end, you're throwing out some of that information, but you're texting it afterwards. It's all in the welcome email. They're probably going to ask you the same 5 questions again. So even if they ask you that night, like just say, wait till you get your stuff. I promise it'll make more sense once you begin. And a big thing too is when people get their boxes, I automatically have been telling people recently, like, anything that has to do with the cleanse, I'm like, put it aside. I'm like, I don't want you to look at the cleanse for life. Put that aside. I don't want you to look at the little snacks. Put it aside. There's certain products they don't need right away. And when you see like, 50 products sitting in front of you, it's overwhelming. So I try to have them put away as much as possible back into the box so they only have to deal with like a couple things the first 2 days. And all of a sudden they're more excited to take out the other products. But keep it as simple as possible for them. Even if you got extra products for them, maybe just start them off the first day, like simple, basic. So that is the brunt of what we wanted to talk about. If there's any specific questions that we can answer, I know a lot of it's pretty basic, but there are a lot of new people, and we can answer any questions if anyone has anything specific.
You guys can unmute, and I think I muted everyone, so just unmute yourself if you have a question. Jen and Adam are great leaders. They'd be perfect to ask. If you guys do have questions, don't be shy.
Do you think we're good?
Nobody has a single question. You guys have this.
I have a question.
Go, Tracy.
What do you do when you got somebody that goes rogue? You lose them. They're not responding. They're
Yeah, usually it's like, I mean, usually it's because they don't want to disappoint you, I found, you know, or they're like really that busy, but just try to call it out from the beginning. Like I felt like I had to, because I was so annoyed when people were going radio silent. I'm like, just don't do it. Like once I felt like I told them that, I haven't had anyone do it since then. We'll see, but that's been like the past, I don't know.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. How do you help people like stay motivated when they're having kind of like negative experiences? Like I've had a couple people who are like frustrated with their first 2 weeks since I have them in like, you know, the 3-way calls and I use the coaches and cleansers and whatnot. But then like after their, like I had one person who was on the program and after their like week and a half, which I was trying to like tell them like, oh, you need to stick it out a little bit longer. They just wanted to like give up and got really frustrated. And that part's like really hard for me to navigate because I had a really good experience. And so I don't have any of those, like I didn't get any nausea. I didn't have any like negative side effects. I just had like a really good experience. And so I don't know how to like help those cleansers.
That's great. Well, definitely like number one, be duplicatable. So put them, you know, tag them in something in the group. Definitely that's specific to that, but automatically do not ask them. Automatically start a group message with maybe like 2 or 3 other people, like someone who's more experienced, maybe has gone through that before, you know, whoever you feel it could help, a couple leaders, like someone else and a friend. Start a group message automatically and just be like, hey, this is my friend Cheryl. She's really struggling with headaches. I just kind of wanted to make sure that I got the correct thing to tell her, if any advice. And then that's when people step in. They're like, hey, Cheryl, you know, we do the voice text. Personal messenger on Facebook is the easiest way to do it. And everyone can just leave little voice memos and kind of encourage her. And that's a great way for her to hear what other people's advice is or like what advice they have. And if you're automatically asking her, she's going to say no. So, and don't, you know, and then from there, if they want to set up a 3-way call, they can. So someone could say, let's pop on the phone and maybe she'll have her guards down or he'll have his guards down then. But just automatically start that group message with a couple people.
I agree. And then also I think
Okay, thanks.
you probably mentioned this, or you did mention it a little bit in the beginning, but sometimes too, you know, you can post in Cleansers and Coaches and say, hey, I have a new cleanser who's feeling, you know, A, B, and C and struggling, you know, let's say it's with headaches or something, and say, did anyone else experience headaches in the beginning but found once they, you know, stuck it out, they started to feel better? And that just gives validation to them that they're not the only ones that have gone through something like that. So that's always a good tool. You know, be conscientious of using the tools. We have that group there for a reason. And then also in the search box of the groups, you can type in headache, and any post having to do with a headache will come up. So that might be, you know, some good information that you can end up tagging them in, like, you know, posts from a year or 2 years ago.
Love. Great.
Okay, thank you.
It's also good in the beginning, I think, to set them up for acknowledge it. Say, you know, some people, depending on how toxic you are or what your lifestyle is like now, you might experience a headache or you might experience a stomach ache or issues, you know, with your intestinal issues. Kind of throw it out there. Say kind of what Jen said, don't go rogue on me. If something like that happens, really let me know so that we can help you with some tips or tricks. And I always say that on that very first call, because then it just lets them know, like, there is a potential for something to happen, but we can get you through it if you stick with it. But also, you can't force people to continue either. You can just do your best.
Okay.
I have a question.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Jen and Adam, I think you guys are amazing at taking people who think they just want the products and helping them to have a vision for the business. And could you address how you do that a little bit?
Yes. So that's literally like we talked about, and like you were using, Chris, I know you said recently you've been asking for their 2 accountability partners because it's on the forum that we've updated. But I always am just talking about, again, accountability partners, like 67%, you know, better success, but getting people money back. Everybody likes to eat for free. And they may not want to hear about it the first call, but I always put it out there from the beginning. Okay. That it's like so normal that our company just gives people money for referring and they don't need to do anything else. It's literally referral cash. We say, I never mention business, never anything else. So as long as they know about the referral cash, it's never weird when I ask them later about it also. You know, and who else, if you have a person who's really empathetic and maybe they don't really care about the money, or maybe they care about the money, but they're also empathetic. Who else wants to feel as good as you do?
Yeah.
So it's always the things that we've heard, but it's just getting people, not making it weird from the beginning. So it's not like I'm calling them, so much later and be like, oh, by the way, it's not a business call, but and it kind of sounds a little shady then.
Right. I think for me, one of the biggest things is from that initial phone call is finding out what people are passionate about. So whether it's helping other people or yes, they want to build a financial wall around their family, and somehow relating how this has become a thing that I can see as a future for my family, and how not only for Jen and I, but how we can leave a legacy for our children. So if this person has kids and they're concerned about them, like somehow bringing it back to how this is the only opportunity where I can be the CEO of my own virtual franchise, and it can free my family for generations to come, and in sort of a way that speaks to them, I think is just opening people's eyes in a different way without kind of forcing it down their throat.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had a question as well. So first of all, I want to say this is the first time I heard about the referral. I am new to this. So how does that work, or where can I find more information about it?
Yeah. Are you, who enrolled you?
Jen Neely.
Oh, okay. And you are in the Dreamers in Action group, I'm assuming, if you're on this call.
Yes.
Okay, so in there, you can first type in like you share, they share. That's like a great video. On isogenicsbusiness.com, it's also, there's like there's some videos on how to share, like how people get paid on there. But pretty much, have you referred anybody at all or no?
I've enrolled 2 people.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so then you've gotten paid already?
Not yet, but I'm sure I am. It's just recent.
Okay. Yeah, Rachel's saying, I can help you, Maria. Okay,
awesome.
yeah.
Rachel's going to reach out to you for sure. But that's awesome. Yeah. So the most simple way that we just heard, and a lot of people might like this, but hey, do you know 10 people who know 2 people who eat food? Like that's kind of like how you max out this compensation plan. So just think of that, like, hey, when every time you enroll somebody, like, hey, who are 2 people that you know that eat food? Like keep it light and simple like that. Guess what? They probably know 2 people that eat food. And now just do that a couple more times and you can max out this compensation plan. So yeah, Rachel's going to get in touch with you, but thanks for reaching out. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job already referring 2 people. That's amazing.
Sure, thanks. I had another question. So I have a gentleman, and I've spoken with him a couple of times one-on-one, and, he's very excited for the business portion of it. But when we come back to, him being involved in it, he's like, well, I don't like to take supplements. Well, I don't like, all these additives. And, I've sat there and I've told him, well, no, look, these are the nutrition facts and these are the ingredients and whatever. But there's always a but in it, and I'm not sure how to approach him anymore. We put him on 3 ways and he kind of just doesn't message back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Originally, I was going to say 3-way call, definitely. And I know exactly how you feel. The whole feel, felt, found. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same exact way, but here's what I found after using the product. Blah blah blah. You can also send them any articles from isogenicshealth.net. If you go there in the search bar, it's awesome because it's all compliant. It's from the company. It's science-based. It's from doctors. You can't get any better than that. And then he can read on his own terms. And you know what? Sometimes people are not ready. And there's always going to be a but. And there's always going to be a no. And there's always going to be like, this is, the X, Y, or Z. It's just not for them. And sometimes they come back around and sometimes they don't. And at the end of the day, you just have to just keep going, and if they want to come back around, they'll, you're going to be there. Just keep following up, but it doesn't always have to be about Isogenics. And if he's ready, he'll come around. If not, don't worry about it. It's not you, it's him.
And I think one of the most important things is this company is product based, and people need to be a product of the product, and let him know that it's just food that he's eating, number one. And then once he has that amazing experience, then he can actually share with, personal knowledge. And that's what the company wants to be, a customer first company. So if he's eating the products, loving the products, and sharing, then he's authentic to the opportunity and to the company, which is first and foremost is what we want to do, is protect the company. So, we want people to speak from knowledge of these products.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have one last question? Nope. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jenna. Oh, someone.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to Laura, Rachel, and Kisa for sharing your story. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
on the call tonight, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. If you are enrolling because you're on this call, there's 5 days left in June Boom, so keep on going, keep on sharing with as many people as possible. $200 for if you share with 5 to 7 people. 8 to 9 gets the 4 nights for free at the Venetian for celebration, and then 10 gets you the meet and greet with Kathy Coover and all of the other 2 prizes too. So keep going, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.